What's going on, guys? My name is RagingRaptor and welcome to a new World of Tanks video, and today I would like to talk about my last game in the STRV 103B, where I was finally able to free mark this tank. And well, I want to talk about the mistakes I personally made and why exactly you could in theory say that this lose could have been on me. But yeah, let's jump in. So, as you can see, it is a tier 10 only gameplay with 2 clicker piggies per side, and it's an encounter game mode on the map's steps. So, yeah, that's not much else to say except for we have to have at least 5,600 combined damage to get the third gun mark in this game. Obviously, it doesn't show accurately anymore because after this game I was able to get the third gun mark. But yeah, we need 5,600 damage at least to get the third mark. The issue is, which I personally experienced while I was playing the STRV 103B, is that it's very annoying to play when you can't really camp properly. Like, trying to attack in this vehicle is very annoying, and I had a lot of games where I simply just did no damage at all, like 2,000 damage, and that's max. Maybe 2,500 combined, because simply the STRV it sucks at attacking, because you have to have 2 seconds at least to get into position and use your siege mode. Then if you, for example, got spotted, you immediately have to realize that, which is probably another half a second to a second of reaction time, and then you have to push your button again, which means you have another 1.3 seconds of downtime. So trying to attack in this vehicle is very annoying most of the time, because you have so much time you usually waste when you go into your siege mode and try to be effective or not. However, as you can see, we tried to get some side shots into the enemy's team at the beginning of the game. It sadly didn't work, even though our 13105 did a decent job at spotting. Also, please do not hate me for being a really big gold noob in this game, because obviously I do want to get the third gun mark, and we were at 49.5% in this game. So 94, not 49. Sorry, that was a little bit of German thinking right there. This is why I was spamming gold APCRs anyway, even though I still try to go for most weak spots in general. And also something which I noticed with the STRV, it very often is also a good idea to try to go for your tracks. 5.48 seconds reload time with tank gun rammer, vents and rations is a pretty darn good thing to do. And also very important, this position right here is very much broken. If you can camp here, yes, it is obvious where you're standing, but my goodness gracious, you can do so much damage if you have people spot for you, or if the enemy is attacking. Again, the STRV is an amazing vehicle when you try to camp and try to defend your positions. Here we got a little bit unlucky while firing against Progetto. Its roof for some reason bounced our shot, but the next shot, luckily enough, was a pen hit to also have high roll, as well as T-capping the cap. Again, it's an encounter battle. It's not as an encounter as we have in the current 7 vs 7 game mode, because this encounter cap takes a little bit longer. So far, it is a pretty even game, you can see from the HP. However, I do not know what HP are happening over there from our team or from the enemy team. So this thing up here is rather, how should we say, inaccurate. That's what I wanted to search for. You could also see the Super Conqueror knows where I'm roughly standing, so he is not the worst player, which is good by him. And you can see he probably told their artillery, yo guys, there is a STRV behind here. Keep that in mind, try to blind shot him, and this is what they did. Again, at the moment, this is usually what you tend to do in the STRV. Most of the time, you just have to stay a little bit low, stay frosty, and see if you can shoot at enemy people, like the Jagdpanzer 700, which got spotted. And I'm sure our 13105 was happy to take the spot damage, because that Jagdpanzer 700 made one mistake now, and he immediately died for it. However, we are only at 2,000 damage so far, which is far from what we need for our third gun mark. We still need an additional good game to even get close to the third gun mark. Luckily for us, it looks like our dear friend Object430U is trying to spot the people for us, which is very good. I personally have always tried to pick my targets. The most important targets to kill in the Stridswagen are the tanks which can penetrate you. The T110-04 has a very, very devastating gun. It is a huge gun and it can penetrate me wherever he wants. Here I decided to go for the 3105 because he was a one-shot, and a one-shot dead is already a good thing to do. And now you can see we are driving more aggressively and decide to focus on the Leopard 1 because we can shoot at him. And now this is very, very important. Always when you have the option, try to go for the tracks. Especially on tanks like the Leopard 1, Leopard PTA, Standard B. Those tanks have their ammo rack over here and over here, so it's a very easy ammo rack for us, and D-track. I'm pretty sure that I damaged his ammo rack as well as his track, because that would explain why he didn't repair his track in that sense. And lastly, now it's a 5 versus 5, both teams have 2 arties left, and we getting into a pickle. We were thinking, you know what, we could in theory cap, maybe, we would be fast enough to capture 2 minutes, if we don't get blind shot. And I have to say, this is where I made a big mistake. I'm honest about it. I was very, 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 very egoistic in this game. I decided to say, dude, I'm sorry, I can't. I need 700 damage from my third mark. I know this is a very, very bad call, and it is something which I really rarely do. Again, I play a lot of the time solo. I play a lot of the time some higher tiers, and I have a good win rate in such games. So here I am most likely throwing away a victory, and I'm sorry for that. I'm genuinely sorry for the Prochetta and our team that I threw the game away. This is one of really the rare occasions where I decided to say, you know what, I'm full HP, I still have a chance to do 2 more shots of damage and get my third mark, which I was trying a long time ago already. And I even had to take a break once because I actually had my blood pressure sunk down, and I felt very, very, very unstable for a second and some time, and I actually had to cut the stream because I was so angry at the point. But that was like 2 months ago, so yeah. Here you can see me being very, very undecisive. What should I do? Where should I go? Etc, etc, etc. I knew that I can't really go to up there yet because the enemy obviously they could gap, you know. In the aftermath, I should have gone up there much, much earlier because, quite frankly, the enemies have so much more tanks left and so much more HP left that they didn't decide to go for capping anyway. They wanted to get the kills, they would have been greedy, and I think if it would have been up there earlier, I could have may or may not be able to camp or carry the game even better. However, this game, or right now the position I'm in, why I decided to stay here is quite simple. I want to see what exactly is driving into the capture zone. So I can shoot at them, I can try to kill them, etc, 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 take away as many HP as possible. That is what I want to do. I'm also always trying to look left and right. Maybe I can get a shot off onto the mouse, maybe not. It's a little bit hard to judge. And again, I want to point out that at this point, my most likely my beats per minute were around 130 because I know I need 2 more shots to get a killing the third gun mark. And you can see we are very unlucky right there. We are able, however, to get some detracking shots onto the T110E5, and now I was like, you know what, I try something. I try to go for a shot into his lower plate, and maybe the next shot is now try to go for the tracks again, keep him detracked. You can see it just barely is enough. Interestingly enough, he is unspotted. Like, I am very, very surprised that on 400 meters I wasn't able to spot him without binos. So now I knew, you know what, let's try to get a shot, 1 more shot onto the mouse. I tried to do a blind shot, which very, very unluckily didn't hit. However, I think at this point the mouse has its commander dead. And I was like, okay, looks like the E5 is trying to capture. Oh no, there is an ST2. So I decide to go for a shot on him. I'm like, you know what? staying here. I might squeeze off one more shot, but nope, there's no point. I cannot stay there and try to fight 3v1 when there's still 2 artillery pieces left. The mouse is coming from here, the E5 is coming from there, he has potentially heat, and the SD2 can penetrate me without any issue in the lower plate, because as you know, the lower plate is 40mm thick and can be overmatched by any 122mm gun. So here I'm very surprised the mouse didn't spot me, even though we were at 333 meters. So I think that the mouse had a dead commander. Maybe. Or maybe the camouflage of the Stridswagen is that good. I am not sure. But I was thinking most likely it was that he had a dead commander. So now you can see, now we finally went into this case 8 position, which allows me to probably try to get people killed. The 50B is also like, what? He didn't spot you? And now we try to use our special move, the 50-meter rule, and we are able to sink in a shot into the mouse. Very, very unlucky that I wasn't able to get this shot out, because now I have to waste an additional 2 shots onto the mouse to finally kill him, because I wanted to get him to stay still. This was a little bit bad by me, because I could have gone for the lower plate. Now we finally managed to kill him, but we give the artillery so much more time to now shoot onto us. And yeah, the E5 for some reason has HE loaded, which something I didn't realize at that point. So I decided to focus down the T125. And you can see I did make a decent chunk of mistakes in just this short period of time. Again, don't forget, I still know that in my mind I can carry this game. First and foremost, I'm focusing the HE spammer, which is a very, very poor choice. Second, I immediately repaired my stun damage. So that was another mistake, because now I'm stunned for another longer time. I don't know why exactly it took me so long, but yeah. Sadly, we weren't able to finish off the SD2. Because, let's just face it, if I would have gone for the SD2 first, I would had a chance to kill him, because he would go for a sequential shot. There we go. And sadly enough, he didn't went for that. He decided to go for one shot each, which means that he had another shot ready to shoot. We were very, very unlucky that Mr. Sema, however you want to call your stupid name, was able to actually burn us without any previously damaged fuel tanks. Again, in the end, I made a lot of mistakes. And again, I am taking full responsibility for losing that game for our team. Nevertheless, I would say we still had a decent game for ourselves. Sure, yes, it is sad and bad that we got very unlucky with some shots onto the mouse, some shots onto the ST2. And yeah, in general, the mouse was the biggest issue. And then just me being very, very, how should we say, very nervous made this 3v1 or 5v1 situation sadly fall apart. Again, I take full responsibility for that, but let's have a look at what we got exactly for this game. As already mentioned, luckily enough, we did got the 3rd gun mark, which is an amazing feeling still, even though we sadly lost the game and throw it away most likely, because I do think in 2 minutes we would have the opportunity to fully capture the cap. However, RT was still there. They could have blind fired us for 2 minutes continuously. So again, who knows? It is as it is. 7,000, almost 7,400 damage, pretty decent game. We sadly only bounced 820 shots. We did got 5 kills, however, it was an ace tanker in a losing game, and you could see we did a pretty decent chunk of damage of our team. The mouse definitely didn't play it bad as well, the ST1 neither, but the E5 apparently was a very, very, very small threat, and I simply didn't know that. Lastly, 33 shots, 30 hits, 20 pens. Yes, you can shoot as much gold ammunition as you want, you won't penetrate every single shot anyway. Seriously, some shots went for the tracks because I wanted them to go to the tracks. Others, as with the mouse in the crucial minutes of the game, were very unlucky, very, very saddening, and yeah. And you can see, shooting gold only is not the best option to do, because you make a huge chunk of minus. We got courageous resistance bonuses, we got personal reserve bonuses, yet we still made 86,000 minus. However, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something about positioning and trying to judge the battle again, and maybe learn from my mistakes. Again, this is a rare occasion where I am throwing the winner away for my gun mark, because usually when you're playing for your gun mark, you usually try to have the biggest impact into the game, because spot damage plus normal damage count, and both things are very, very important to try and win a game, because the more damage you do, the higher the chances are you're going to kill the enemy team, you know? So yeah. I'm very sorry again for our teammates. I'm especially sorry for Karolinux, which decided to give me this chance, this opportunity, and he played well as well. Not gonna lie, it's a pity we didn't want it. It's a pity that I got burned. It's a pity that the mouse was able to bounce 2 more additional shots, which she shouldn't have. Anyway, this is the STRV 103B. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, let me know in the comment section below. Tell me what I can do better, and if you want to see more replay analysis like this. Because I usually like to do them, because after some days, after rewatching them again, I feel like I can better judge what did I do wrong and something you could try to do better in another game. Obviously, such replay analysis are also very informative for you, because you know now in which position I'm going to go, in which position are good positions to stay in camp. Also, I think most important thing, always try to go for a track shot with damage, because especially on tanks like the Leopard 1, the Conqueror, they have ammo racks immediately located behind the frontal road wheel. AKA, if you hit them there, if you detract them, they have to decide, shit DPM for 90 seconds or dying on the spot. My name is RagingRaptor, thank you so much for watching, cheers and have a good day.